Hey y'all, what's up? Now tonight I tried my hands at clam linguine and it was a success. Now first you have to wash your clams. I sat them in cool water and sea salt for 30 minutes, washed them off, then I put them back in some sea salt and cool water until I was ready to use them. Now I took 5 cloves of garlic. I chopped it up myself. I will never do that part again. I'll go ahead and use mince because it was too much work. I used 1 shallot, chopped it up. And while I was doing that, I did already put the oil in the pot. As you can see here, I put some oil. You're supposed to use olive oil. I used avocado. I also did the water and some salt. In this avocado oil, I also added some butter. Once it melted down, then I'll go ahead and start adding in my ingredients. So once it started getting a little hot, I added in the shallots, cooked them a little. Then I added in the garlic, and then I threw in the parsley. And then I decided to season it with some red pepper flakes, additional garlic powder, a tad bit of salt, and some black pepper. Now, once it all cooked down and got pretty like I liked it, I went ahead and gave my clams a final rinse and I added them to the pot. Now, once I got all my clams inside of the pot, I used a cup of this cooking wine. You can use real wine. I use cooking wine and it worked out perfectly fine. Trust me. Put the lid on and I let it do its thing. And baby, as the little bit of time went on, like 10 minutes, they all opened up so beautifully. My water started boiling. I learned this little trick from a guy on YouTube. I can't remember his name, but it worked out perfectly. Once the clams were done, I took them all out of the pot. I took out the broth from it as well. And I put some butter in. I used a little bit of the broth. And then I started adding in the linguine noodles, and I kind of was eyeballing it as I went along. I took 4 of the shell clams, actually 5, chopped them up and threw it on top because I did not want to use clam from a can. Once I mixed it all up, I threw the clams back in. I mixed them up and I was ready to serve myself some, okay, because it looked delicious. Now this is me plating it. Now I'm not a plating expert, so I just threw on the pasta, threw some clams on top, sprinkled on some Parmesan cheese, and I sat back with a glass of wine and I enjoyed. When I tell you this was delicious,